Shalom Alechem. Did you ever wonder why HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates earthquakes? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates thunder? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates rainbows? Any other natural phenomenon in the world? Is there a reason, or everything is explained in science? Well, if you take, for instance, rainbow, we know in the Torah, Parashat Noach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu flooded the entire world, destroyed the entire world, and afterwards he made a covenant, a brit, and he said that from now on he would never repeat that. Rather, every time he would want to destroy the world, instead he would bring out rainbow to show and express that it's not a good time. So one wonders, really, is that the reason for rainbow? It's so much so that there's a story in the Gemara in Ketubot about Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. When he passed away, he went out to Shamayim, to heaven, and who greeted him? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai asked Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi whether he had a rainbow in his days. That would be a test to demonstrate how righteous he is. If he didn't have a rainbow, that shows that he was such a holy person that was able to protect his generation. But is that really the reason why there's a rainbow? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu is angry? Or a rainbow is because after rain there's droplets in the atmosphere which the sun rays go through and they come out with colors of rainbow. If you ask any scientist, that is the reason. That is the reality. You can't argue on facts. This is nature. So which one is it? Same thing with earthquakes. When there's an earthquake, Chazal tell us in Brachot Nuntet that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so sad at the time that Am Yisrael are in exile, they are scattered around the world and suffering, that two tears drop out of his eyes and fall into the ocean, causing an earthquake with loud voice and loud sound. Now, obviously, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have tears, he doesn't have eyes, he doesn't have any body, but this is something just for us to understand the state of mind of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak. That's also something that is not exactly correct. But it comes to tell us what HaKadosh Baruch Hu feels at the time that things are happening. Over here, we see that two tears drop, they fall in the ocean, and they cause that earthquake. It's interesting that whenever there's earthquake within the ocean, it causes a tsunami which destroys destroys everything in the land, because the earthquake in there causes very large waves and very quick waves to come to the shore and just washes towns over towns and destroys everything. So that seems to refer to that. Moreover, the Gemara says that there's two tears because there's two earthquakes, and one comes after the other, and that is a secondary earthquake which could be devastating, not less than the first, and destroy everything that the first one left behind. So that is something that comes out from that Gemara in Brachot Nun Tet. But we see from here that the reason for earthquake is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sad and tears come out and causes the earthquake. But really, is that the reason? Or because there's a movement within the core, inside the bottom of the land, and that there's, whenever there's cracks in the earth, there's movement, and that causes earthquake to occur. That is the reason that you'll see written in scientists' books, which is true. That's nature. So which one is it? Is it this, or is it what Chazal and the Torah tells us? And this question was asked by the Maharal Miprag. The Maharal Miprag in Be'er HaGolah, Be'er HaShishi, writes the following fascinating things, and I'm reading. לא באו החכמים לדבר מן הסיבה הטבעית, כי קטון מפחות הסיבה הטבעית. Chachamim didn't come to explain to us and tell us and inform us of natural reasons. Why? Because that's beneath them. It's meaningless. That's very, very beneath them to speak about science. What is this? The Torah is science book? כי דבר זה היות לחכמי הטבע, לרופאים ולא לחכמים. This science, what happens in the world, it's good for scientists, for doctors, for professors. They'll tell us what goes on in the world. אבל הם ז"ל דיברו מן הסיבה שמחייבת הטבע. They explain to us what causes those things, which means if the Torah would write us everything that the scientists write us, then it would be a science book. Torah would be a science book, Gemara would be a science book, and today every scientist already writes a science book. So we have the two types of science book: one from the scientists, another one from our Chachamim, and another one from Hakadosh Baruch Hu. It's nothing more than a science book or a book about medicine or about procedures. No, the Torah doesn't speak about that. The Torah doesn't go that route because it's beneath the Torah to speak about what goes on in the world. Rather, the Torah speaks about what causes all those things, which means the Torah comes to tell us, and Chazal come to tell us what causes that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings at that very time the sun rays to the droplets of water that stays in the air, connects them together, and a rainbow show. It doesn't show rainbow every time it rains, and it doesn't. And rainbow is pretty rare. Same thing with earthquakes. It's pretty rare. It happens every long time in every place that it happens, and therefore, what brought Hakadosh Baruch Hu to bring it about just this time, this year, this day, this moment? That is what the Torah comes to tell us. What causes the event to happen is what the Torah comes to explain and inform us. Which means HaKadosh Baruch Hu now is angry, then he brings, it does that the earth would be starting to crack on the bottom, and the crack brings the earthquake. So they're right. Those scientists go to the first level, the level of understanding what causes the earthquake. The Torah comes to tell us what causes the cause of the earthquake. And that is something that's very interesting, which the Maharal MiPrague informed us.